The wine glass shattered against the wall, red liquid streaming down like blood. Tyler's voice echoed through our cramped apartment, each word cutting deeper than the last. I pressed myself against the kitchen counter, feeling the familiar knot of fear tighten in my stomach. This wasn't the first time tonight had ended this way. "You're worthless, Mia, just like your pathetic father was." Tyler's dark eyes gleamed with satisfaction as he watched me flinch at the mention of Dad. My hands trembled as I stuffed clothes into my old duffel bag. Tyler had finally passed out on the couch, empty bottle beside him. 3 years of this. 3 years of walking on eggshells, of believing his lies that I was nothing without him. But something had shifted tonight. The bruise on my wrist throbbed as I worked. Tomorrow he'd apologize, bring flowers, promise it would never happen again. But I couldn't do this anymore. My laptop screen glowed in the darkness as I scrolled through job listings. Everything required experience I didn't have or references I couldn't provide. Then I saw it, an anonymous posting for a personal assistant position. Generous salary, housing provided, immediate start. Too good to be true, probably. But the alternative was staying here, slowly dying inside. My finger hovered over the apply button. What did I have to lose? I typed my information with shaking fingers. The application was surprisingly simple. No references required, just basic skills and availability. "Can you start immediately?" the final question asked. "Yes," I typed. "More than you know." Within an hour, my phone buzzed. An email with a contract attached and instructions to be at Grand Central Station by noon tomorrow. Morning light filtered through our dirty windows. Tyler was gone, probably to work, acting like nothing had happened, like always. I stared at the contract on my phone screen. Coal Industries. The name meant nothing to me, but the terms were incredible. Salary, benefits, housing. My reflection in the bathroom mirror showed the truth. A purple bruise bloomed along my jawline. I couldn't keep hiding this with makeup forever. Tyler's coffee mug sat in a sink, lipstick stains from his work colleague Sarah visible on the rim. My heart should have broken, but instead, I felt nothing. I signed the digital contract and hit send. Whatever this job was, wherever it led, it had to be better than this. By 10 a.m., I was walking out with just my duffel bag and phone. I didn't leave a note. Tyler didn't deserve an explanation. The station buzzed with morning commuters. I clutched my phone, looking for someone holding a Coal Industries sign, as the email had instructed. A woman in her 40s approached, wearing a perfectly tailored grey suit. Her smile was professional but warm. "Mia, I'm Patricia, Mr. Cole's assistant." Relief flooded through me. This was real. I wasn't dreaming. "Thank you for this opportunity. I promise I won't let you down. Dot." Patricia's luxury sedan moved smoothly through traffic. She was pleasant but professional, explaining that the estate was about 2 hours north of the city. "Mr. Cole values privacy," she said, glancing at me in the rearview mirror. "He appreciates employees who understand discretion." I nodded, watching the city fade behind us. Whatever secrets this job held, they couldn't be worse than the life I was leaving behind. Iron gates opened to reveal a sprawling mansion that took my breath away. Perfectly manicured gardens, a circular fountain, windows that gleamed in the afternoon sun. "This is where you'll be staying," Patricia said, noting my expression. "Your room is in the West Wing. You'll have full access to the grounds." I couldn't speak. After years in Tyler's cramped apartment, this felt like stepping into a fairy tale. Maybe luck was finally on my side. Patricia led me through marble hallways lined with expensive art. My room was larger than Tyler's entire living room, with a 4-poster bed and windows overlooking the gardens. "Dinner is at 7 if you'd like to join the staff," Patricia said. "Mr. Cole will meet with you tomorrow to discuss your duties." After she left, I sat on the bed and cried, not from sadness, but from relief so overwhelming it hurt to breathe. A cream-colored envelope waited on my nightstand. Inside, elegant handwriting welcomed me to Coal Industries and expressed hopes for a long partnership. It was signed Adrian Cole in strong, confident strokes. The name stirred something in my memory, but I couldn't place it. Tomorrow I would meet the man who had saved me from Tyler's world. Tonight I would sleep peacefully for the first time in years. I woke several times, expecting to hear Tyler's heavy footsteps or angry voice. But there was only silence and the distant sound of wind through trees. The bed was soft, the sheets expensive cotton. A far cry from the lumpy mattress I'd shared with Tyler, always trying to stay on my side. For the first time in 3 years, I slept through the night without nightmares. Maybe this really was a fresh start. The staff dining room was warm and welcoming. A cook named Maria insisted I try her famous pancakes. The groundskeeper, James, asked about my interests with genuine curiosity. Everyone treated me with respect, like I belonged here. It was so different from Tyler's friends, who always looked at me with pity or contempt. "Mr. Cole treats his people well," Maria said. "You'll see. He's a good man, even if he seems distant at first." Patricia helped me choose appropriate attire from clothes that had mysteriously appeared in my closet overnight. Everything fit perfectly, as if someone had studied my measurements. "How did you know my size?" I asked, smoothing down the navy blazer. Patricia's smile was cryptic. "Mr. Cole is very thorough. He believes in taking care of details." Something in her tone made me wonder what other details he'd researched. Adrian Cole's office occupied the entire top floor of the mansion's east wing. Floor-to-ceiling windows offered sweeping views of the Hudson Valley below. I waited in an antechamber, palms sweating despite the elegant surroundings. Portraits of distinguished men in expensive suits lined the walls, probably previous Cole family patriarchs. The door to his private office remained closed. I could hear the murmur of a phone conversation inside, but couldn't make out words. The office door opened and he stepped out, tall, broad-shouldered, impeccably dressed in a charcoal suit that probably cost more than Tyler's monthly salary. Then he turned toward me, and our eyes met. The world stopped spinning. Those blue-gray eyes, the strong jawline, the way he carried himself with quiet authority. I knew that face, even though it was older now. "Hello, Mia." His voice was deeper than I remembered, polished by years of boardroom negotiations. But it was definitely him. Adrian Cole, the man my family had once welcomed into our home. The man they blamed for destroying everything we had. My legs felt weak. This couldn't be coincidence. "You," I whispered, hating how small my voice sounded. "You're supposed to be fine." Dead? Adrian's expression remained neutral, but something flickered in his eyes. "I'm very much alive, as you can see. 8 years since the scandal that ruined my father's investment firm, drove my family into bankruptcy, and ultimately contributed to Dad's heart attack. Everyone said Adrian Cole was the whistleblower who exposed Dad's supposed crimes. Now here he was, offering me salvation when I needed it most." "I know what you're thinking," Adrian said, moving to pour himself a glass of water. His hands were steady, while mine shook. "Your family has every right to hate me." "Hate you?" The word came out sharper than intended. "You destroyed my father's life. He died, believing everyone thought he was a criminal." Adrian's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "Your father was many things, Mia, but he wasn't a criminal. I tried to save him, actually." "Save him?" I stood up, anger overriding fear. "You testified against him. The newspapers said you provided evidence that sent his company into bankruptcy." Adrian was quiet for a long moment, studying my face with those penetrating eyes. The newspapers got a lot of things wrong. He moved to his desk, pulled out a thick manila folder. "Your father was being framed, Mia. I spent 2 years trying to prove it." My hands trembled as Adrian handed me the folder. Inside were financial documents, email printouts, investigative reports, all dated from 8 years ago. Someone was systematically stealing from your father's clients, Adrian said quietly. Moving money through shell companies, making it look like internal embezzlement. I couldn't focus on the papers. The numbers swam before my eyes. Why should I believe you? Why would you help him? Because Richard Sterling was my mentor, Adrian said. He gave me my first job in finance when no one else would take a chance on me. I remembered then, the young analyst who used to come for Sunday dinners, who always complimented Mum's cooking and asked about my college plans. Dad spoke highly of you, I admitted, before everything fell apart. He said you reminded him of himself at that age. The person who framed your father was someone he trusted completely, Adrian continued. Someone with access to client accounts, company passwords, Richard's personal signature stamp. A chill ran down my spine. There was something in Adrian's tone, a carefully controlled anger that hadn't been there before. Who? I whispered, though part of me already knew. The timing, the anonymous job offer, the way Adrian had found me now. Tyler Morrison, Adrian said, and my world tilted sideways. The coffee mug with lipstick stains. Tyler's expensive suits on an analyst's salary. His rage whenever I mentioned my father's memory. Tyler worked for Dad, I said numbly. He was just an intern then. I met him at the company Christmas party, right before the scandal broke, Adrian finished. Tyler was very careful, very patient. It took him 3 years to position himself where he could access everything he needed. My mind reeled. Tyler hadn't just found me by chance. He deliberately sought me out, the daughter of the man he'd destroyed. He was dating me before Dad died, I realized. He was already in my life when the bankruptcy happened. Tyler's very good at manipulation, Adrian said, his voice gentle despite the harsh truth. He probably offered comfort during your family's crisis, made himself indispensable. I thought about those early days with Tyler, how understanding he'd been about Dad's death, how he'd insisted I move in with him after Mum remarried and moved to Florida, how he'd gradually isolated me from friends, convinced me I was lucky to have him, made me financially dependent on him. But why? I asked. Why destroy my family? Why target me specifically? Adrian was quiet for a moment, as if deciding how much truth I could handle. Your father discovered discrepancies in some accounts. He was asking questions. So Tyler framed him to protect himself. It made terrible sense, but that doesn't explain why you hired me now. Adrian's expression grew complicated. I've been watching Tyler for years, waiting for the right moment to expose him. When I learned about your situation... You've been watching me? The implications hit like a physical blow. How long? How much do you know? Adrian had the grace to look uncomfortable. My security team flagged Tyler's name when he started showing up in domestic disturbance reports. Your name was listed as the victim. I felt sick. So you know about the bruises, the fights, how pathetic I've become. You're not pathetic, Adrian said firmly. You're a survivor, and now you're safe. The job posting, I said slowly. That wasn't coincidence either. End. No. Adrian moved closer, his presence both commanding and oddly comforting. I wanted to offer you a way out that didn't feel like charity. But it is charity, isn't it? Humiliation burned in my chest. You don't really need a personal assistant. This is all some elaborate rescue mission. Adrian's eyes flashed. I need someone I can trust absolutely. Someone with as much reason to hate Tyler Morrison as I do. What are you saying? I asked, though something in his tone made my pulse quicken. I'm saying that I've spent 8 years building a case against Tyler. Financial records, witness testimony, forensic accounting. Everything except the one piece that would make it stick. Adrian opened his laptop, pulled up a complex flowchart showing money transfers between various accounts. I need someone with internet access to Tyler's personal files. You want me to spy on him? It wasn't a question. I want you to help me prove your father's innocence, Adrian corrected. Tyler's gotten sloppy over the years, arrogant. He keeps trophies of his victories. The bruise on my wrist throbbed. Tyler did love his trophies, photos of his expensive toys, newspaper clippings about Dad's scandal, even recordings of our worst fights. He has files at the apartment, I admitted. A whole cabinet he keeps locked. I always wondered what was in there. Those files could contain evidence of the original fraud, Adrian said. Bank records, forged documents, communications with accomplices. And if I help you, what then? I asked. Tyler goes to prison, my father's name gets cleared, and I get to live with the fact that I loved the man who destroyed my family. Adrian's expression softened. You get to live, Mia. Free from fear, free from Tyler's control. That's worth something. I stared out the window at the perfectly manicured gardens, the life of luxury and safety Adrian was offering. All I had to do was betray the man who'd been betraying me for years. He'll know I'm gone by now, I said. He'll be looking for me. Let him look, Adrian said. This estate has excellent security. Tyler Morrison will never hurt you again, I promise. But promises were what Tyler had used to trap me in the first place. How do I know you're telling the truth? I asked. How do I know this isn't just another cage with prettier bars? Adrian was quiet for a long moment. Then he moved to his desk, pulled out a key card and set it on the table between us. This opens every door in the estate, including the front gate. You're free to leave whenever you want, no questions asked. I picked up the key card, felt its weight in my palm. Such a small thing to represent so much freedom. There's a car in the garage with your name on the registration, Adrian continued. Bank account with enough money to start over anywhere you choose. And if I stay? I asked. Then we work together to make Tyler pay for what he did to your family, and to you. As if summoned by our conversation, my phone buzzed with a text message. Tyler's name on the screen made my stomach clench. Where are you? We need to talk. Another buzz. Mia, answer me. You're scaring me. ... Adrian glanced at the phone. He's already started the cycle. First concern, then anger, then promises. How long before the threats? 3 more messages arrived in quick succession. I could feel Tyler's escalating panic through the screen, his need to control morphing into rage. You can't hide from me. I know you're reading these. I'll find you, Mia. And when I do, you'll wish you'd never left. There it was, the real Tyler beneath the charming facade. I looked at Adrian, this man from my family's past who'd appeared like some dark guardian angel. Maybe he was using me. Maybe this was all another form of manipulation. But Tyler's messages burned on my phone screen, and I could still feel the phantom grip of his fingers on my wrist. What do you need me to do? I asked. Adrian's smile was sharp as a blade. Help me destroy the man who destroyed your father. Tyler will come looking for you here eventually, Adrian explained, pulling up building schematics on his laptop. He's predictable that way. He's also dangerous when he's cornered, I warned. You don't know what he's like when he loses control. Adrian's eyes were cold. Actually, I do. I've been documenting Tyler's behavior for 3 years. The domestic violence reports, the pattern of escalation. Patricia appeared as if summoned, carrying another manila folder. The background checks you requested, Mr. Cole. Inside were photos of Tyler with other women, financial records showing hidden accounts, even medical reports from previous girlfriends who'd pressed charges. You're not his first victim, Adrian said gently. There have been others. But you might be our best chance to stop him permanently. Tyler keeps everything, I said, studying the photos of his apartment. He's obsessive about documentation. Bank statements, contracts, even personal correspondence. Including evidence of the original fraud, Adrian asked. I closed my eyes, remembering Tyler's locked filing cabinet, his paranoia about anyone touching his personal papers. If it exists, he'd keep it. My phone rang. Tyler's name flashed on the screen, and both Adrian and I stared at it. Answer it, Adrian said. Act normal. Scared, but not defiant. Let him think he still has power over you. My hand shook as I accepted the call. Tyler. There you are. His voice was deceptively calm. I've been worried sick. Where are you? I needed some space, I said, hating how easily the submissive tone came back. After last night, Baby, I'm sorry about that. You know I didn't mean it. I was stressed about work, but that's no excuse. Adrian was recording the call, I realized, documenting Tyler's manipulation tactics in real time. I know, I whispered, but I can't come back yet. I need time to think. Think about what? Tyler's voice had an edge now. About throwing away 3 years together? About abandoning the man who loves you? About whether I can keep doing this, I said. And for once, it wasn't entirely an act. Silence on the other end. When Tyler spoke again, his tone was dangerous. Where exactly are you, Mia? I'm staying with a friend, I lied. Someone from college. You don't know her. Which friend? What's her name? The interrogation was starting, just as Adrian had predicted. It doesn't matter. I'll call you tomorrow, okay? I just need tonight to clear my head. Mia, don't you dare hang up on me. Tss. I ended the call and immediately turned off the phone. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the device. You did well, Adrian said. He'll be frantic now, trying to track you down through mutual friends, checking places you used to go. He'll figure out I don't have anywhere else to go, I said. Tyler made sure of that over the years. Tell me about that, Adrian said, settling into the chair across from me. How did he cut you off from your support system? I thought about college friends who'd stopped calling after Tyler made scenes at parties. Family members who'd grown distant after he monopolized my time. It was gradual, I admitted. He'd find fault with everyone I cared about. Make me choose between him and them. And you chose him, Adrian said, without judgment. Every time, he made it seem like love, like he just wanted us to be enough for each other. I laughed bitterly. I thought I was lucky to have someone so devoted. Abusers are experts at reframing control as love, Adrian said. Tyler's particularly skilled at it. Patricia appeared in the doorway. Dinner is ready when you are, Mr. Cole. I've had a plate prepared for Miss Sterling as well. Sterling, my maiden name, the one I'd abandoned when I moved in with Tyler. Hearing it felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. Thank you, I said. It's been a long time since someone called me that. The dining room was elegant but warm, candles reflecting off polished wood and crystal. Adrian had changed into casual clothes, looking more like the young man I remembered from family dinners. Tell me about your father, he said over the main course. What was he like when you were growing up? The question caught me off guard. Why do you want to know? Because the Richard Sterling I knew was brilliant, ethical, genuinely concerned about his client's welfare. I want to understand how Tyler convinced everyone he was corrupt. I set down my fork, emotions welling up unexpectedly. Dad was the most honest man I ever knew. He used to say that trust was the only real currency in finance. Tyler exploited that, Adrian said. Your father's trust, his client's trust, your trust. Is that why you really hired me? I asked. Because I represent everything Tyler destroyed? Adrian was quiet for a moment. I hired you because you deserve justice. And because together, we can make sure Tyler never destroys another family. Outside, wind rattled the windows. Storm clouds gathered on the horizon, mirroring the emotional tempest brewing between us. When this is over, I said, when Tyler's in prison and my father's name is cleared, what happens to me? Adrian's blue-gray eyes met mine across the table. That depends entirely on what you want to happen. I don't know what I want anymore. Tyler made all my decisions for so long, I've forgotten how to choose for myself.